Hi everyone, this is Lecture 1 for Unit 1, Part 1, Human Origins. Today I will be summarizing some important information regarding the emergence of civilizations and culture over time. My lecture today is going to highlight some important definitions you'll want to have some degree of familiarity with as we continue our study of Western civilization this year. Most of us, or most of what we know about the past, is reconstructed by archaeologists, anthropologists, as well as paleontologists. Without written records from so long ago, we simply have to make educated guesses as to how people lived based on the artifacts they leave behind. So why archaeologists? Well, first off, archaeologists help us to interpret the past as specially trained scientists who attempt to figure out and piece together early history through the process of excavation. These scientists uncover bones and other artifacts in the process, they gather information, and they draw conclusions based on the evidence that they have collected. Artifacts are those objects left behind by humans and can include things like stone or metal tools, jewelry, or cooking and storage items like clay pots. Artifacts are extremely valuable to archaeologists because they provide hints as to how people lived, the types of beliefs they had, if religious items are uncovered, as well as their focus as a group of people. For instance, if an archaeologist locates what appears to be some type of village and many animal skeletons are located near pots or cooking items, they might assume that the people that they are studying were meat eaters. Artifacts provide archaeologists valuable clues as they attempt to recreate the past. This recreation of the past helps us get a glimpse of culture. When we refer to culture, we're really just talking about a people's way of life. Social scientists who study culture and attempt to recreate the past using artifacts are called anthropologists. Paleontologists are also key players in helping to reconstruct the past. These scientists study fossils or fossilized materials, and human fossils can include bones and other human fragments like teeth. Paleontologists can use complex techniques like radiocarbon dating technologies that can help them determine how old a fossil is. So all of these scientists work together to help us reconstruct and interpret the past. There are many elements or characteristics present in all cultures. All cultures develop around common practices, shared understandings, and some type of social organization. So really you should look at that chart that's right on your page. These cultural characteristics are learned in two ways. First, people learn culture by observing others, like parents, watching what they do and then repeating it. And I know you don't want to be compared to your parents necessarily, but believe it or not, you will pick up many of their habits, hopefully all the great ones. You also learn about culture using spoken or written language, for instance, by listening to your teachers, your friends, or by reading. Culture is highly complex in nature, but all cultures share certain characteristics. All right, so all cultures share common practices. You should be on that chart now on your page that says elements of culture. In terms of common practices, these things can include, first, food, or what people eat. For instance, people who live near the ocean are more likely to eat fish and seafood. Second, common practices can also include the type of clothing or jewelry worn. Many kids in the BHS hallways are currently obsessed with skinny jeans at the moment, both males and females, I might add. Other common practices include 3, sports, which is why we find regional sports in all nations of the world, and it's why lacrosse is such a well-known sport in upstate New York. Lacrosse is not yet widely played on the west coast of the U.S., where I'm from. It's not yet part of West Coast culture in the same way that it's ingrained in the culture of upstate New York. Fourth, people who share a culture also share the same tools and technology. Fifth, they have similar social customs. For instance, Americans tend to shake people's hands when they meet another person for the first time. They also sometimes hug other people. This is often not done in some societies around the world, especially between people of the opposite gender.
Does someone need a hug?
The final common social practice tends to be sex, work, or professions. In a more traditional setting, we might very well see children engaging in the same careers as their parents generation after generation, like farming or fishing. Not so much today, though. All cultures also have a long list of shared understandings resulting in these two groups or these groups of people feeling close to one another. Later this year, we're going to learn about how both Germany and Italy developed into modern nation states or countries by 1871 because of these understandings. These include, but are certainly not limited to, 1, language or variations of the same language, 2, symbols, 3, religious beliefs, 4, values, and these are created to a large extent by the belief systems that are practiced in a given area, and 5, similar arts or other artistic creations, and then finally, 6, political beliefs. All cultures also have some type of social organization. You learned last year about the most elemental unit of social organization. That's the family. A family can either be traditional in nature and include one's entire extended family. We typically see in many industrialized societies today a nuclear family, which is just the immediate family members. But in more traditional societies, we see extended families. Family, whether extended or nuclear, is the most fundamental unit of social organization. Most cultures also share other aspects of social organization, like class and caste structure, and they also include clear outlines for people, for relationships between individuals and their respective communities. Fourth on the list, most cultures share the same government. And fifth on that list, they share economic systems. And finally, sixth, how a particular society views authority is also something that a particular culture might share. All right, with that being said, that is part 1. Thanks for listening. Bye.